Welcome aboard. Trucksama strikes again. I'm Tiffany, and
I'm Maria.
your co-host on this bus ride through the thrilling realms of isekai comics. Buckle up as we journey through the pages where battling mythical beasts and navigating virtual realities are just part of the ride. Fasten your seatbelts because on Trucksama strikes again, the adventure is always on the move. So, we are still discussing villains are destined to die. We just covered 4 to 5, and we were just introduced to the male leads, and we are approaching when Penelope is about to meet the Duke. Dun,
Mm-hmm.
dun, dun.
The man that adopted her. So let's see.
Yeah, the man, the myth.
Not the legend. Uh, so we're gonna be going into chapter 6 called The Forgotten Name. We start this chapter with Penelope getting a knock on her door and having the door abruptly opened by the butler of the household, of the Duke household.
Disrespectful.
Right? And Penelope's thinking to herself, like, how messed up is it for the butler to just walk in Penelope's room? And she thinks of what to do, but then she remembers she's stuck with the game choices. So there's still the same 3 multiple choice. As that happens, she gets kind of like a flashback to her previous life as Chashyon. And she remembers telling her father she got accepted to university and she seemed like genuinely excited. And then this man gave her nothing. He's like, is that all? Is that what you came here to tell me? Because I do not care. She then was like, she asks to move out, and he agrees. And as that happens, she admits that she studied super hard to get into the prestigious university, not to like gain the affection of her family, but to escape the household. Which is very sad. But hey, she got that. She did what she had to do. We love that for her. Right? So now back to the game. As the butler is walking Penelope to the Duke's office, we can see the maids whispering and like gossiping as she passes by. And I'm like, okay, that's not right. But she's used to it. She says that it's happened before. That's not normal, Penelope. We're here for you. We finally meet the Duke. As she sees him, she's still stuck with the 3 choices. Out of all the choices, she kind of sticks to the being polite.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, why? What are you looking for me? Like, why are you looking for me? But respectfully, right?
Yeah.
As she like talks to him, he's like, I heard something happened this morning. And once again, the 3 choices pop up, and all of them kind of don't look great. First one is, your grades need pay no attention. The second one is, I'm sure you hoped there would be trouble. And 3 is, it's all because of that idiot maid. That game does not like her. She chooses the first one. Your grades need pay no attention. But she reminisces about when she was playing the game, right? She wonders why she picked the second choice of, I'm sure you hoped there would be trouble. She's like, why would I even pick that, right? But she sticks to the first choice, and then she thinks, oh, well, if I looked more like Yvonne, I'm sure that he would have compassion for me, but I don't. So that the dude kind of like drops his pen like harshly against the desk, and he's like, you've been here for 6 years since you entered this household. And as he says that, Penelope's like, oh my god, she got here when she was 12. 6 years have passed. That means I'm gonna be turning 18, which means her coming of age ceremony is coming, and that means the return of Yvonne. The return of Yvonne, which makes everything harder for her, right? And the dude keeps scolding her, saying that it's really hard to get to work at the Duke's household, and that he's already spent so many resources on her, and that quote unquote accommodating her ridiculous extravagances, and tells her that she hasn't proved her worth during those 6 years. And then 3 choices pop up again, and she looks really excited at this. And I want to look up the panel so our viewers can see it, because it's genuinely funny. Because it's like one of those like everything is sparkles, and you can see the enjoyment in her face. Like, she's actually excited for this. She's been waiting. Found it. Okay. It's really cute. But as that goes on, she realizes she finally has the choice that she needs. And it's the third one. Kneel on the floor and basically say, "It's all my fault, Father." And she remembers seeing this option when playing the game, and this specific choice apparently turns on a hidden feature. So she kneels down on her knees and begs for forgiveness and calls him Father. And apparently that made him really happy because that unlocked and achieved a hidden quest. And guess what the reward is? You can turn off the multiple choices. She does not need to follow the script. Dun dun dun. So the end of the chapter finishes with the little system pop up showing up. Would you like to turn off the multiple choice answers? Ooh, I wonder what she's gonna pick, right? No idea. No idea about that. That's a little, it's a cute short chapter, you know, it's not too big.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that we can talk about it.
Exactly. Okay. This system.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, do we want to talk about the system first or the staff?
Okay, let's talk about the staff because that was like the first thing that happened in the chapter.
Yeah. Thoughts on the staff? Did they serve?
They do not serve. What kind of question is that? I'm kind of like really annoyed that even in her past life it seems like people still treated her very badly. Like it's like this happens and she's like, well, I'm used to it, which is really sad. And I wanted to point out a quote from the webtoon that she says, "It's foolish to long for love from humans who treat me worse than a pet animal."
Yeah.
Like that is so sad that she thinks her family, you know, the people that worked at her old house and now in this new one as well, like the maid, the butler, the duke, her brothers, all treat her terribly.
Yeah.
Worse than a pet animal. Like that's saying something.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you? What do you think?
I think that it's that quote, it may sound very pessimistic, but I feel like it's very realistic. I think like I'm very frustrated when the main character is too naive, where like they forgive way too easily.
Oh,
Where
for sure.
it's like when the male lead literally kills her in her past life, and she's like, but why he kind of, ma'am, sis, no. What do you mean? What do you mean? You can't.
You
No,
cannot.
that's a criminal. And my mother instincts are like, excuse me? What did you say?
Right?
Just a little bit.
It's yeah. I definitely I can think of a few titles where I was really annoyed. I was going for the second lead solely because I'm like, this man killed you for no reason.
Exactly.
For no
Exactly.
reason. So I get what you mean. I do like. I mean, I feel like this is very like you said is very realistic. You don't. It's like when you have unrequited love and you don't look for their love because you know it's unrequited at some point. Like you just kind of you know it's time to give up.
Yeah.
And
Acceptance.
instead of like putting yourself through a position and like experiences that are just gonna hurt you. You know?
Right. Yeah.
It was like, oh, you like a playboy, you're not gonna keep going for the playboy because you know he's not gonna treat you well. Yeah, exactly. He's not gonna treat you well. It's like the same kind of very realistic. You're right. I didn't like go thought too in depth of it until you like said something about it, and I'm glad that you did.
Oh, that touches my heart. No, but I was thinking like you're so right. It's you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. It's like you know better. I don't know. I find this with like I know it's a common thing. Like certified lover girls are like this sometimes, like even in real life where it's like they keep going back because like their significant other says, oh, they did the bare minimum of like an apology, but sometimes it's like you need to an- analyze the actions, not just the words, because
Yeah.
words can be very empty.
It's the I can change him. It's like, no, you
Oh,
can't.
oh, baby, you're not like this.
Please don't put yourself into that. Please.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I point out how
Hmm.
similar her OG dad looks to the Duke? Like
Oh
side by
yeah. No,
side,
no, no.
the same person.
Yeah, all of the her family members look similar to her new ones.
I wonder. I mean, we don't know this, but I wonder if it's like a reincarnation type of deal, where everyone
Mm,
got sucked into the game or something. Because how? What are the coincidences? That they all have the same personality. They all look somewhat the same. Like,
right.
come on. Like it's almost like too close.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I think you said you had a theory that she's lived this life before almost, or like there's like a time travel element, I think.
Oh yeah, I
Correct me if
remember.
I'm wrong.
It was in our
Yeah.
first episode. I remember because it was you
Yes.
pointed out that really interesting panel of her kneeling in front of her older
Yes.
brother. And I'm like,
Yes.
where does this fit into the story? We haven't seen this. We haven't even been introduced to him.
No.
And it didn't make
Right.
sense. So,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe.
Maybe. I honestly am leaning towards it more as I read it a second time because these are like little things that I definitely didn't catch up on when I
Mhm.
first like skimmed through.
Yeah. I think, okay, well, I don't know if the family per se is reincarnated, but it's definitely
Mhm.
weird that there's too many coincidences and
Something's,
similarities. There's something going on,
yeah,
you know? Like, even
something's
if the
afoot.
family is not reincarnated, she definitely is. Like, that's
Oh,
I
for
will
sure.
bet all my money that
Right.
she's lived through the game like universe before.
Yeah.
Hiccup.
Yeah. I definitely feel like, okay, now my hypothesis about the system is like, yes, it seems like the system is screwing with her, but
Mm-hmm.
like maybe it does favor her in the extent of like giving her like unlimited lives. Because if she is like kind of set up to die,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the system's like, no, we're gonna keep going until you get the correct route.
Oh.
Um, but I feel like it's like a memory wipe situation. It's like, because remember when she was like restarting the game over and over again?
Uh-huh.
It's like that. Like the entire memory is like wiped and you're starting back from zero, so she doesn't remember anything.
Oh,
So
can
it
you
could be
imagine
like,
that?
oh, I I feel like that's like you are blind to your own hell.
Seriously. Like dying over and
Yeah.
over and over and over and over again and not
No.
knowing that you choosing the I mean, she knew cuz she was playing the game, but
Right.
imagine like Penelope, the person in Penelope's body when she was playing the game before she entered.
Right.
Poor OG
Yeah.
Penelope. Can you imagine if she did remember all her lives?
Oh,
That would be so tragic.
it would be. Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know because we actually haven't even really met the
I
OG.
know.
Like we know nothing about her, so that's why I
Right.
have like the big theory that it was Trashion
Uh-huh.
because we know
And she's
like
just looking at her past self.
right because there's nothing. There's
Mm.
literally nothing on her. Like
Oh, that's a really good point.
no old scene of her. Like I feel like in other like manhwas like this we've seen like the villain is being a villain. Like it shows you little snippets
Right.
as to why she was wicked and how.
Yeah.
You know, but in this one it's just
Or
like,
like,
oh yeah, she's a
mhm.
villainess. It's like, okay, how? Please show
Yeah.
me.
No, no, because you're so right. Because it's either they get like oh, you get released little memories at a time so that you don't get
Mm-hmm.
overloaded, or it's like they know it off the jump already about like their past life. Like the past life is always mentioned at some point, but we are just running through Taeshon's flashbacks,
Right. And
none of Penelope's.
it's not even like flashbacks of the actual story. Like if she ever brings it up, it's like of her dying, not of like Penelope's
Yeah,
character like as a villainess.
right, right.
So, I don't know. It's weird. The system's
Isn't it
definitely
interesting?
something. Mm-hmm.
The system is so. I'd like an interview with the system. I like.
Let me sit
Yeah,
down and
we're
talk to
just
this.
gonna. Yeah, we're just gonna talk. Give me the address.
And talking about the system and like the multiple
Hmm.
like choice answers, I wanted to like bring up how, when she was first talking to the Duke and like there was like the three options and she was like, why did I even pick the second one? And the second one was, I'm sure you hoped there would be there would be trouble after he like asked her what happened this
Right.
morning. I
Yeah.
genuinely think she chose that one because and we said this before, like how we think she's impulsive.
Right.
I think she chose it as a form of venting in her life.
Oh, for sure.
Like she was like wishing that she could really tell that to her father. Like, oh, I'm sure
Yeah.
you really wanted there to be trouble. I'm sure that you wanted me
Yeah.
to be the cause of it all. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like that kind of like resentment,
Honestly,
you know? Like,
no, for sure. I think like she is very graceful with how she's been handling this situation
mm-hmm.
of being able to hold. Like, could never.
I
I feel like I
know.
would have blown a fuse so fast or so quickly. Like, I'm sorry, I am the one that's getting executed immediately because I ran my mouth.
Yeah, no, I don't think
But
I
yeah,
could just shut up and let these people treat
no.
me that way. Especially since I'm supposedly
Yeah.
the daughter of the Duke's household. Like,
I know.
minimum, at minimum, the mates are not talking to me like that or about me. Like
No.
that is not happening.
Yeah, like who actually respects her? Literally no
No
one.
one, no one. It's so sad. Ugh.
It's so depressing.
And also, I wanted to bring up the Duke is like, you
Mm.
haven't proved your worth in 6 years.
Right.
Excuse me? You literally took her from the streets. You were the one who
Yeah,
uprooted her and took her into your household. It sounds like one
yeah,
of those types of parents that tell you that you owe them like money and stuff. You owe them everything for doing the bare minimum of just raising you.
yeah. Yeah, I raised you. How dare you?
You
It is
owe
very
me.
like,
Ugh.
because, okay, I get the perspective of like if she went into it saying like, oh, because there's some like, I feel like Genius Child mangas where like they're like, take me in. I will prove you that I can
Right.
earn my worth. But like that's not the case here. So why is he suddenly again, his communication skills are so poor that he's like has all these expectations but also he doesn't communicate them?
You're right, right. And then I'm like, does he even know what happened?
No.
Like in this one, I'm
Neglectful
like,
father.
does he know that she was being served rotten food? Like rotten food can kill
No.
you. It can
Yeah,
literally kill
mold.
you. So I don't understand why she's being made out to be because she didn't even okay, she wasn't even the one that did the drama. It was Reynold.
Yeah.
It was
Because he
literally Reynold.
tattled.
Right. And he was like and he was the one that was like, send her to the dungeons. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't even Penelope and that really pisses me off. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was kind of confused about his reaction to her, like, calling him father. It's like, if you really liked being called father so much, why
Right.
didn't you truly treat her as your daughter? Why didn't
He's a
you act like a
Tsundere.
loving father? I don't get it. If you really
Yeah.
wanted to have a connection with a girl that reminded you of your lost child,
Right.
and it seems like there's like a little sparkle and he's like super confused about being called father again. Why,
Hmm.
if you like it so much, why have you treated her that way? I don't get it.
He's a tsundere. He is like very like hot and cold. He's low key. What I imagine is him like on his bed, like kicking his feet, like writing in his little journal, like, oh my gosh, you'll never believe.
You never believe what
Like,
happened.
yeah, like that's what I imagine for him, when he's like alone.
She
But
called me father.
I know he's literally gushing and just like fangirling. Like, be upfront. Like, you don't have to hide that. Like,
I wonder
step up.
how the author's gonna introduce it, though. Like how she's gonna flip it from him being a neglectful father and letting her get,
Yeah,
abused to
redemption arc.
yeah. I want to see how he's gonna get redemption because so far, it's just us theorizing that he's a tsundere. We don't actually know if he is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. And also, I wanted to point out how pretty the art is still in this chapter. Like, I cannot, like, sometimes I just kind of stay and look at the panels because of how pretty they are. Unnecessarily pretty for everyone. Like, even the butler. The butler!
Why does he kind of... Why is he kind of serving?
Right? Like, even the butler...
Do you work in hospitality? Do you work in hospitality? Because you serve. Unfortunately, not actually. But,
not actually, but... Like, you know, everyone's just so pretty. Like, even the dad...
kind of ate.
Even the dad, he's not a good father, but he's giving daddy, you know?
I know. Listen. You know we already made a fan edit.
Oh, we know where Reynold gets it from.
Yeah, no, unfortunately her brothers are like very attractive, which is very annoying to me.
Ugh. Cause Reynold, I'm pretty sure Reynold has the dad's eyes.
Oh.
The same colored eyes. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
I did want to say on artwork, I love the way, I don't know, I feel like they might do this for also other ones, but the background is typically white for the text where we're in present, but they shift to black for the background when they're in flashback. And it's such a good visually, like how to transition in and out. Now, this could be very common, but like I just think it's like so much easier on the eye, and this is something that you can't communicate through like just the web novel.
You're so right.
It's super subtle too.
It's like subtle and it's like easy, because sometimes I feel like I've seen some webtoons where they like go like do the flashbacks and you can't tell it's flashbacks. I mean, you can only tell because of the clothes and like, you know, but you can't. It's like this one is like a clear transition, and it also, I feel like it shows her dark past, her literal dark past, her bad memories.
Yes,
you know, she was in a dark place, and damn it seems like she still is.
She's trapped forever in this like eternity of just mistreatment. I will say, okay, I don't want to give the system too much credit, but it's compared to the last episode for choices. At least there's one choice that's clearly the right answer.
Right. You're so right.
Because I feel like the other two options are usually so off base. For example, Your Grace need pay no attention, like very like demure, delicate.
Yeah.
You know, a perfect like daughter. But like 2 is like I'm sure you hoped there would be trouble.
Like, I'm sure.
Yeah, or it's like very passive aggressive, and then it's like 3's like, it's all because of that idiot maid. Like
the childish response.
Yeah. Yes.
Aggressive. That's funny. Yeah, you're so right. I feel like this time, like at least this chapter.
Don't want to give it too much credit, but
but hey, apparently she can turn off the choices. So, but before going into chapter 7, I wanted to read my two favorite comments, and the first one is, from a storytelling point of view, this makes sense, but from a game point of view, nah fam, I'm keeping those options on. Which, that makes total sense. I don't know if I would turn that off.
Yeah.
Cause it's too much pressure to choose just on the top of your head, and especially since she's seen the choices. Wouldn't that be like easier? Like she knows what to choose because she's chosen them before. That one was funny. The next one is not him acting like she begged him to adopt her or something. Like, it's so right. She didn't ask for this. She didn't ask.
Yeah.
The Duke was just like, yes, you look like my lost child. Come here. I'm taking you home. Like finding a lost kitten. Just come here. I'll take you home. Taking the kitty home and then just never feeding it. Never looking at it, just letting it roam in your house free and fend for itself. Yeah. That's what that's doing. It's funny. Do you have any favorite comments?
I think it's so interesting that there's such a debate in the comments of like, would you keep it on or off? I think maybe, okay, knowing our female lead, I think turning it off would make sense with her character. Like she wants to be free, the desire to be free. So another thing that's trapping her and like
Right.
constricting her choices, I
Mm-hmm.
think is why she was like, okay, let me open up my options.
I mean, and it's
Um,
also because she couldn't move or do anything without the
oh,
choices
I think that
around
freaks me out. That
around
freaks
other
me out.
characters. Because when she was
Yeah.
alone, she could do stuff by herself. Like she
Hmm.
wrote that whole list with all the 5 female leads. I mean, male leads.
Right.
But the moment another
Yeah.
person gets on the stage of like what's being shown on the game, like if someone
Yeah.
were to look at a screen and play the game as Penelope, that's when the
Yeah.
choices come on, and that's when she feels like she has to do what the 3 choices tell her, and she has no other option. So that's what's
Right.
freaky. I like that's the part where I'm like, damn, like she had to eat rotten food. Like that's
I know that, yeah, that's a lot. And I think though, like some commenters, one of the ones I saw was, but with multiple choice, it was easier, in which case you have 33% to guess. With open
mm-hmm.
answers, you're more likely to make a mistake. I think like it's interesting to me that some commenters are seeing this as like kind of similar to taking a test, like
Right.
playing your odds almost.
Yeah, but this isn't a
Like
test. She
that's
can
really
actually die, man.
I know. So I feel like, yes, from like a logical standpoint, I feel like a lot of us would go with multiple choice,
Mm-hmm.
but from a IRL, like emotional perspective, when you like take in all the context, I think people would want to have freedom to say what they want.
Right. Well, I feel like someone says the multiple choice thing would definitely keep me alive since my mouth works faster than my brain. But if I could only adhere to certain choices, I would go insane. Which is
I know.
true.
I think you would go crazy, and the title would be Villains Are Destined to Go Crazy. Villains are destined to go to the psychiatric ward.
I am destined to get my neck cut off by the people in this family. And then someone
Yeah.
else said, then again, someone with a silver tongue would thrive without multiple choices. Which,
Yeah.
again, it's true. And Penelope
Right.
seems to be
Our girl is
like,
smart.
yeah, I think she's got this. She can go through this game without the choices. So I
Yeah.
think it may be time for chapter 7.
Yes, let's go.
Somebody please.
Now we're kicking off with 7. We start again with that turn off screen.
Mm-hmm.
There is kind of a warning. Um, it basically warns you like you get more freedom. This is kind of the stuff we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But they basically like kind of sell it first. They're like, you're more free, you can do what you want. But and this is more recommended if you want more in depth, and like you turn it off and you get like all these great things. Initially she ignored it, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I would have thought maybe that was her logic brain thinking it, but I think again it's like what we talked about earlier, that debate of like, okay, would you do it IRL
I
or would
mean,
you do it?
in a game, I would totally do it. Like
Yeah.
open world ultimate game sounds like the funnest thing ever.
I feel like I would be really slow with typing my responses, like when you're sending a text.
I guess you're right. Character AI be pulling through.
Yeah. ChatGPT. Okay, so basically she sends her dad's, father.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, this is necessary for my survival. The dad shook, speechless, the two eye and like mouth emoji. And now she can finally like move and like speak, thank God. Without the multiple choice. Exactly. Hooray. Jumping up and down. So she's like, hey, sorry that like I got into trouble while I was like under probation. I wasn't like, I caused a scandal, which is like, I'm like, okay, girl, you don't have to apologize that much. You didn't really cause a scandal, I would say. But she's like, I will reflect. And
Mm-hmm.
the Duke is still shook. He's like, now what's happening? This seems different, very different from what it was before.
I wonder if this is like the first time she's apologizing and that's why he's reacting that way.
Oh, for sure. He's like, it's so different. I expected some things to break. In
Right?
the midst of this conversation.
He like
Um,
hides the pens, hides the cups.
yeah. Yeah. Basically, in the back of my mind, she still think like, the victim, though. Like, let's BFFR.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna swallow my pride and show like some humility. And she's basically like, I was childish, I was arrogant, please forgive me. I'll like work right now. Like, starting from now, I will like begin my redemption arc and prove my worth.
So now
Um,
it's where he can put actual expectations on her. Because now she's truly saying, hey, I'm going to try.
yeah. Yes, expectations, clear communications. Um, he even says, and Eckhart's words are not to be taken lightly, Penelope. Do not waste the opportunity you earned today. Slay, she passed the first test.
Woohoo!
Yeah, she's not getting her neck chopped off today. She's finally done with that conversation after that ending. She's like, "Whew, okay, I can like relax a little bit." I don't know if that's the best thing I could have done, which I think is like the thing with open answers. You never know if it's the best
Mm-hmm.
thing to do. But she's also like, for the Duke, his favorability is not necessarily something that I need to earn, maybe. Fingers crossed. Let's just be glad that we're alive.
Did he have a
Um,
favorability? Like a meter on
well,
top?
not. Oh, wait. Yeah, no. Right now, no.
Okay. Because I didn't remember seeing that.
Yeah. No, I didn't see one either. But Reynolds definitely, we saw it pop up
Well, we know the two
afterwards.
brothers. Oh, I guess you're right. Maybe we'll see if but he's not a male lead. So we'll
Yeah, so
see if
maybe that's why.
which makes it a little
Um,
harder. Anyways, back to she leaves the Duke's office.
yes, she's leaving the Duke's office. She's like, oh, I can finally relax. And then all of a sudden, we encounter the bane of my existence. He starts with line, I'm sure I told you to live quietly and not to make a sound as if you were dead. I know
Excuse
he thought
me.
I know for a fact he thought he ate it up, no crumbs. Like, oh, however, oh, he's so annoying. But like, okay, for oh, spoiler. I forgot to mention who it is. Bane of my existence, aka eldest brother, next line to the throne, Duke.
The Dukedom.
The
Next line in the
dukedom.
Dukedom.
Oh my gosh, what's his name? I
Uh,
forgot. LMAO.
we only remember the pretty boy, Reynold.
We only remember the pretty boy. Anyways,
His name was Derek.
Derek, I think, yeah, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
And here we do get highlight points on the percentage, which is at 0. And for some reason, he's
So
vouching for Emily.
he doesn't
J-
have a negative. He doesn't start out a negative like
I know.
Reynolds did. So that's interesting. Yeah, vouching for the maid.
Yes.
He's vouching for the maid.
Disrespectful. First of all, know where your loyalties lie. Are you a technical relative with Emily? Why are we standing with Emily? But basically, she's like, oh, you're so difficult. Like, no one even wanted to serve you until we said that we would pay them extra, which is like, okay, systematically, that's a issue in terms of like, that's not how you conduct business.
Mm-hmm.
But she was basically the only one that was willing to help out. Do you feel good having caused such an uproar and driven out the only maid you had? Anyways, he knows how to get under my skin. Like, I'm sorry, every single word. Tomato. Exactly. And she's basically like, no, I like that she knows exactly who she is. And she's like, oh, caused like all this drama. It's literally your own brother. Sorry, but that's baby girl Reynolds' fault. um, and yeah, she's like, she's so graceful. She's taking it with grace. She's like, okay, I can't say that though. She knows how to watch her mouth and she knows how to think before she speaks. Unrelatable. But
Yeah.
she's like, okay, let me calm down or else again I will die. So she turns on the choices again, which is really smart. I think for this case, like
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to monologue, you don't want to free ball and like improv on this.
It's like what does the
Her
game tell me to
choices,
do?
yeah, the choices are: 1, it seems you two were very close. 2, she did something worth being driven out for. 3, just glare at him. Okay. Yes. System definitely is out to get her in this time because the
Yeah.
choices suddenly got really hard.
Back and forth.
And Derek basically is like, are you deaf? Like, answer. He didn't say it like that, but that's how I felt about it. And She says 2 words, my lord. Instant shock. Instant, instant, like, shooketh. Um, disgusting. Yeah, and she's okay, we're in Penelope's head again. She's like, how many times do I have to beg for forgiveness? And we get flashback of like her apologizing to her like previous family members, like as a child. Like that's not she doesn't need to do that.
It's so
And she's
sad.
like, basically, she's like, I was like prideful. I didn't know my place. And she feels disgusted saying this. Like she has to just survive. She even says line for line, but I've done it countless times already in order to survive. Oh, my girl, my girl, my girl.
Yeah.
And she takes full accountability for something that's really not her fault. Says, like, I even apologized to dad. So in her head, she's like, you guys all suck, however, but I will do what is necessary in order to live.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, I'll be as quiet as a mouse. Don't worry about it. Forgive me, LOL. She just says, last line, I'll beg as much as you desire. Oh.
Cannot be me. And that's the end of chapter 7. And honestly, there's so many
Yeah.
things I
There's a
want
lot.
to really want to point out. Number 1, it is so cool that she can turn the choices on and off to see what the game suggests. Like
Kinda OP.
it is kind of a P, because when you think about it, that's kind of like a little cheat. Like when she doesn't know what to
It's
say
cheat.
in free answer mode, like she can be like, oh,
Yeah.
what should I say, and then turn it on.
Yeah.
I mean, but then at the same time, it's not like it's pausing time. So if she was like
Right.
against someone like the Crown Prince, who apparently is kind of like explosive personality, like say something wrong, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be as easy to just kind of like, hey, what does the system suggest? Turn on,
Right.
Like she has to just kind
Right.
of come up with it on top of her head, because her brother noticed that she was just quiet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it is kind of like, you would think that if a game gave you the option to turn off multiple choice answers, it would be like that for like forever. Like it's just off. And I feel like that would
Right.
really make it hard mode. Like if she
Yes,
had no
it's
choices.
extreme. Right.
I did not like.
This was ChatGPT before it was ChatGPT.
You're so right. I wonder, okay, if this is a game, I wonder how free answers even worked. Because this, apparently, they could turn
Right.
off the multiple choice in the actual game when she was Chashion. How?
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? Like, does the system have, like, a special AI unit where it, like, if it, like, senses certain words, it can, like, be like, oh, like, have a certain, like, have the characters react a certain way, like if it sees the, like, it just, how would that work? I want to know, like, game wise. Like, it doesn't make sense.
So, like how would it work with the open answer option?
Uh-huh.
That's fair. Maybe they randomize it. That's my like only guess.
But it
I
wouldn't,
thought at first.
if they randomize it and she, like, imagine she says, like, the right thing, wouldn't like randomizing it just,
I feel like it has to be AI.
yeah, like it would have to be a form of AI to be like, oh, I'm sensing she says the word sorry. This is
Right.
good. I will not kill this time, kind of
Yeah.
deal.
Yes.
Because if not, it doesn't
Respond
make sense.
positively.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like for example, the Derek's word is my lord. He likes being called my lord. Legit, I
Trigger-
do not
Trigger
like
warning
it.
for those that are sensitive and stomach wise.
I can't. It kills me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like him as much as any other characters. He's been the worst one yet.
He really grinds my gears. But I love that we have a conversation about the technicalities of how this game would hypothetically work. I thought at first you were asking how to turn on and turn off answers, like how that element worked, and I was like, maybe it's like a reveal your answer kind of situation, like Quizlet, like flashcards, or like those like grade answer, like homework answer websites where it's like, ooh, pay
Pay
$5
money
and reveal
You're-
the answer.
That makes That would be funny. The microtransactions.
Yeah.
That's how they get you in the small world games.
Yeah. Oh, bruh.
I could not do what she did. Get on my
No.
knees and apologize to the
Oh.
Duke. I could not. As Oikawa says, this worthless pride of mine would get in the way.
Yeah. Oh,
I
my
would
king.
not.
That's my man. My man.
The great king spoke the truth. I would never kneel
Yeah.
for something and apologize for something I did not do. I physically cannot. It would pain me. I cannot do it. But I feel like that shows her commitment to surviving because she's willing. I'm not willing to do it, but I'm not the main character.
No.
She is, and she's the main character because she will do whatever it takes to survive. You know?
Yeah.
That's what makes her different from us.
This reminds me of Love Island. There's a girl that she's basically painted to be the villain character, or like production wants to like make the storyline that she's the villain, but the audience agrees basically that she's not, but she's getting like pummeled like one after the other of like accusations against her character, against her reputation,
like by the
and
show.
The show, and also like the other islanders or contestants. Like they are just attacking her. Like, let her get up. Let her get up.
Jesus.
But basically, like she absorbs all of it and just like handles it with such grace. Again, it's like media training 101. Who is your PR team? She very much like reminds me of Penelope, but like I remember watching the show, I was crying just because it like felt so awful to see like someone get punished for something that they did not deserve. Maybe it's like the injustice of it all that we don't like seeing. Like the sense of justice in all of us makes us like almost angry and emotional to like want to protect this person. I very much feel this way for Penelope too.
Yeah.
Off topic and like really big shift, but in the line where they say, but that's not important considering Penelope's behavior up until now, there's a image of a broken vase, like broken flower vase.
I was gonna point it out.
Queen, me and you.
Because I was like, that is so. Because she didn't just do that. That's like purposely showing something that happened before.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, I love that the author could have just illustrated it directly, but this is very metaphorical. It communicates a lot without having to say it explicitly or like draw it explicitly of what she did. But we get the message loud and clear of like previous Penelope would not take this. She would not stand for this.
No, she wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's when you were going through the summary, I was like, wait, that is a really good panel. But again, I really wish we could see a little bit of her and like actual like OG Penelope. Like, let me see that rage. Let me see what truly made her so bad that apparently everyone turned on her because of it. You know, like, again, I still would like to know.
It feels strategic, like you were saying, of like, you know, it feels like it's not her. It like she didn't exist. If they're just like, there's so many opportunities for the author to drop in like an IRL Penelope scene, but she doesn't.
Can we talk about her dress?
Of course.
Her dress is so pretty this chapter. It's the same one as the past chapter, the black one, but there's something about it that I just find so pretty. I love the tiny bows and like the choker, and it's just ruffled. It's so pretty. It really is. Yeah. And I wish
it's got this like
No, you go. You're the one that knows better.
No. What were you gonna say?
I forgot. I literally left my brain.
It's got this, for those that are just listening, it's got this like gothic feel to it that very much still reminds me of like maybe like a modern interpretation of Marie Antoinette's kind of dress, much more settled down with like not such a big hoop skirt. It's more of like a A-line situation with like a square neck. But they've got like little details that really make it stand out. I think it's like color-wise too.
Yes.
In black, in mourning, like it's I feel like symbolical of like her mourning the loss of her previous life, her previous freedom, but just like overall
Wow.
like how she feels.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just
She's a
noticed
villain.
the the jacket that Derek is wearing, the back, there's a
Mm,
rose on
okay.
it.
Hold on. Let me scroll.
There's a rose, and the vase,
Where's it?
the broken
Oh,
vase had roses in it.
yeah.
I wonder if there's a meaning behind that.
Is that their like official, what is it? Not logo.
Crest? Their official
Yes,
family
yeah.
crest? We don't
Yeah,
know.
family crest.
We haven't seen it. I don't think
Because
so.
Reynolds doesn't wear that.
Eckhart,
Like
what Eckhart did, let me look that up. What is
yeah.
the Eckhart's family crest?
Yeah.
Nothing shows up about it.
No, and I was looking to see if we see. No, yes, it is.
It is? Where?
Hold on. I'll send you the picture, but basically, this is a little spoiler, but basically when they are represented, they're like at a official proceeding or like a royal proceeding.
Oh.
Do you see it?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yes, but there's like a little sign, and it has that.
Ah.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
So, do you think the broken vase with the flowers like represent like her like rebelling against the family that's treating her so badly?
Yeah, or like wanting to destroy it in a sense.
Destroying the
Mm,
family name and punish them for the way
yeah.
they've been treating her.
Oh, I love it.
Ah, maybe the author
I
was just
love
like,
it.
I don't know how else to do this. I don't want to draw another flashback. Broken vase. And we're like,
Bruh.
I think it means this.
Yeah, we're taking it so far, which is
Um,
fine with me.
um, interesting. Well, that was
Oh
a
my
cute
gosh.
little.
Wait, really quick.
Mm-hmm.
There's another cover of her in this iconic black dress, and she's in like a coffin.
Huh?
Like death, her own death, attending her own funeral.
Send it to me.
Corpse. I just sent it.
Oh, wait, it's the cover that we've been using. Not this
Yeah,
chapter because we
yeah.
changed it. Like the ones that we
Yeah.
used the past two chapters. Oh my
Yes.
god, you're so right.
Our brains. Oh,
And
I
it's
love these
roses.
connections
It's
that we're
roses
making.
again. Look.
It's roses again.
And she's holding a
'Cause
dead
that's not
rose.
it's not a traditional flower for funerals, so it is very interesting. Okay.
This is what we're talking about. It's like she's in a coffin, the dead rose. And it's the same
Yeah.
outfit. Girl, that is crazy that you noticed it. I did not make that
Yeah.
connection at all.
I know this outfit in particular was very like I feel like I saw it a lot just because she wore it a lot, but yeah,
She's worn it
it's
for like 6
really
chapters. Oh, 4.
bruh, because literally these
4.
meeting scenes will take chapter or two.
Yeah, and it's only been like it's 7, and we haven't really gotten into like the actual story. We're still getting introduced to characters and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. The business method of trying to ask people to serve her if they increase pay, are you not just attracting the worst people to
Right?
because their intention then is to get money. And if your first like inclination to, of course, understandable, we get it, like it's a job. However, if that's the number one reason for them to work for her,
Then you don't really have the
obviously,
loyalty of them.
yes, that and like two, it shows that they have bad intentions if they're willing to do something that they don't want to do because of money.
You're right.
He's gonna make such a bad duke. Like you cannot be ruling a dukedom like this.
Mm-hmm. So right.
Yeah.
Ugh. No, yeah, I hate because I know that they're making him look like, oh my god, like he's like truly shaken up by her saying that I will make sure not to do anything that attracts your attention, and that like really gets to him.
They are so.
You were literally
all of
asking for it. Why are you so shaken up?
The Eckhart men are all so tsundere. Like,
So emotionally
they're so
constipated.
alike.
Emotionally constipated. That's what they are. They like say what you mean, dude. Please.
Yeah. Speak your mind. Say it with your chest.
Take a slim tea, dog. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. But okay, crazy that she's stressed about the 0% versus when it was Reynolds and it was negative. She's like, LMAO. Okay.
She did not care about Reynolds.
She didn't care.
She's like, F man. F this man. I do not care. He can hate me all he wants. In this one, she's a little more. I mean, sure. I think it's because in her past life as well, the youngest brother was the one that kind of got onto her the most, the one that like made fun of her the most and like tormented her, while the first brother was more of like a, ugh, get out of my way, leave me alone, don't even talk to me, don't breathe my direction.
The eldest was also the one that set her up with that like bad apartment. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say poopy or but yeah, I don't know, like I think again such great like alignments or like connections between previous and present where it's like for Reynolds it's pretty childish and like doesn't really his attacks have very little impact.
I mean,
versus
he caused her death in like one of them. He literally pushed her into a fork.
Well, okay. When we think about who is more of a
emotionally impact, he has no impact on Penelope.
Also, like power-wise.
Oh well, you're right. You're right.
He's a spare, so like he really got nothing. He's really still in the same place she is. He's just a little bit higher because he's a man.
You're right.
But for Little Duke, he's kind of got some power because he's like supposed to be the one that's gonna
take over,
succeed, take over. So like even with her language, she like understands power dynamics really quickly and easily. She addresses him, my lord, versus Reynolds. She was like, hey queen.
You're right.
Like very whatever la-di-da with it. It's again just so interesting, and I just really appreciate again how intentional the author has been. Like I can tell she's put in a lot of thought into this story and a lot of effort.
Yes, it's true. I also want to point out the last panel, the so please forgive me one more time, reminds me of the one in like the second chapter where we were talking about like, wait, why is she kneeling on the floor for him? Like, why it reminds me of that one. It's like the same like I don't, because he was the one that was in front of her, I'm pretty sure,
right? Like
the one that we're theorizing was her last death before she got transmutated into the game. It's, I don't know, like it's always him. I'm scared of him. I'm scared of what he's gonna do to my baby.
The so please forgive me one more time panel is literally the same, except she's not on her knees.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So it's so scary.
We'll have to watch out for him. I don't trust him.
I don't trust him. I feel like the two women on like I think it's the Real Housewives at the cat. Like that's me and you. The cat is Darren.
Yes.
Okay, new meme alert. I'm about to drop a new meme.
No, I do not trust. We do not trust.
He cannot be trusted.
He can't. But I think it's time for some comments.
Yes.
So I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 that I really, really liked. The first one was, Trucksama, I want to cancel my appointment. Which is so valid. Like, I don't think I would want to be isekai'd into this. Please don't take me.
No.
Do not strike me again.
No.
And then, second one is, I'm just wondering how that option of playing without multiple choices was supposed to work in the game. Because we were wondering the same thing too. How? AI? It's interesting.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the third one was my favorite. I was about to say, is turning the answer options off really a good idea? But as she said, the game is out to get her. I hate those games where your options are bad, worse, the worst. Like, how twisted can the story get?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's so true,
No.
especially that last one in this episode where the 3 choices are literally all so bad.
No, agreed. Agreed.
And then the last comment, kind of like the you seem very close option. LMAO, stir the pot. I wonder what would happen if she said that. Like, I'm so curious. Because it's basically
what caused her to die last time.
Maybe. Because that's basically implying that he's, like, with the maid. And that's not a good look for someone that's...
I mean, I feel like he's kind of...
I mean, he's wouldn't.
Kind of too... No.
But still, it's the implication, just even the implication of bringing it up that would just piss him off anyways. But yeah, those were my favorite comments. Do you have any?
Yes. Mine is, LOL, I would run away, sell my stuff, earn money, and hide in a small tree house I'll somehow build. If I stay in that mansion, I would lose my sanity.
Valid.
Again, like, honestly, now that we've been in the isekai universe a little bit longer,
yeah,
I feel like correct option is always just to not be there. Almost, because like I feel like at first my mentality about it of isekai was like, oh, I'm in it to win it, but now I'm like, actually, I think I think I would be avoidant to this situation.
Totally. I don't think, I mean, but then that's the thing that we were talking about. It's like, would the game system let her run away?
Right. Exactly.
It's that would be really cool. I would probably do the 2. Would it let us do it?
Right. It's a sticky situation.
Yeah, no, these were some really good chapters. They were, I mean, again, it seems like it's not a lot, but then when you sit down and actually start thinking about them, it's got some substance in there. But I think that's all we have for today.
Yes.
Whoop, whoop.
Let's go.
Well, thank you everybody for exploring this isekai realm with us. Next chapter, we'll be starting with chapter 8. And unbuckle the seatbelts. Until next time. Bye!
Bye! Get off the bus.
Bye-bye.